Hello everyone and welcome back to my opinion. India have won their second Super Force match and will be playing the final against the winner of tomorrow's match between Bangladesh and Pakistan. Let's get into this review video. Starting off with the decision at the toss, Jakar Ali was the captain for Bangladesh today because Lutan Das was ruled out due to injury. I don't know whether he will be available or fit enough to play the match tomorrow. And Bangladesh won the toss and chose to bowl first. I've mentioned before that Dubai is a chasing venue, so I wanted India to bat first at least once in this tournament, and I'm happy that happened today. I knew India wouldn't change their 11, and I've got a bit to say about that as I progress through this video. And for Bangladesh, I didn't know how they'd rotate their players before this match because they've got a match tomorrow. Taskin Ahmed and Shariful Islam were on the bench. I suspect one of those two will return tomorrow in place of Mohammad Saifuddin. Parvez Hussain Imran is usually an opening batsman. He batted at 3 today and I thought he did decently. But isolating the 11, if you're separating the rotation policy, we saw in the previous match, if you've not got at least two attacking seamers to bowl in the power play against this Indian side in these conditions, you'll struggle. And we saw in this case, I don't know why they've been sitting out Tanzim Hassan Saqib in the past. Well, since the 2024 T20 World Cup, I think he's been bowling very well. He got the ball to move away from the right-hander today. Naseem Ahmed is someone who bowls arm balls in the power play. And then you've got Mustafizur Rahman, who's not as effective in the power play as he was before. He's been one-dimensionally bowling slow deliveries for a while now. Mohammad Saifuddin is not the quickest of bowlers. And do you think when he bowls, is there a threat level to pick up wickets as much as a Tanzim Hassan Saqib? I don't think so. And with how well Indian players play spin and white ball cricket, I believe they are the best players of spin and white ball cricket. Naseem Ahmed, after going for 7 in his first over, started going for runs in his fourth over. And then they had to bring on Mohammad Saifuddin. So after none for 17 in 3, they went with 72 without loss after 6 overs. Those last 3 overs was where India really got to a platform where they could have got more. And 112 for 2 in 11, and Bangladesh did very well to come back from that, yes. But I feel that that selection of the attack, if you isolate the rotation policy, that was what let them down with how well Tanzim Hassan Saqib was bowling. Had they picked another out-and-out fast bowler, maybe India, I feel India definitely would not have got as many runs in the power play if they picked another out-and-out fast bowler with the first 3 overs only going for 17. And if you're looking at batting depth, Mohammad Saifuddin can bat, but Rishad Hussain can bat, so can Naseem Ahmed, and to an extent Tanzim Hassan Saqib. Can you strengthen the batting in the side unless you include a frontline batsman? Can you strengthen this batting in the side, including one of the bowlers? I don't think so. Mohammad Saifuddin is sort of a 50-50 all-rounder. If you picked a frontline seamer, I think Bangladesh would have done something. Well, they would have definitely played, they would have gone better in those last 3 overs than they did. And now for India, 112 for 2. I'll say the reason why we saw that the last few overs didn't yield many is not because this lineup has got a set of players who aren't skilled enough. They are skilled. I've mentioned this before to say, if you're going with this left-right combination philosophy, a fluid batting lineup philosophy, you've got to pick the personnel who fit that. In this case, Shivam Dube batted at number 3, and maybe it's because they wanted to give him more batting time. But in that case, one of Sanju Samson and Tilak Verma would not be needed, and if they did bat, they wouldn't be able to perform at their best since they'd be batting out of position. You've got Shivam Dube, Tilak Verma, and Sanju Samson. At least one of those can fall into that category with the way the batting lineup is structured on a given day. And I don't know what they thought when Samson was slotted into bat at 8 and he didn't bat, where the moment a left-hander was dismissed, Tilak Verma was dismissed, and you got Akshar Patel, just because he's a left-hander being sent out, he scores 10 or 15 balls. I don't understand this. As I've said, Indian players are the best players of spin and white ball cricket. Whether an off-spinner bowls, a left-arm spinner bowls, I don't think that them being a left or right-handed batsman is going to change too much, so I really don't understand that. And beyond that, they're taking a risk with Bumrah, once again bowling 3 overs in the power play. And we saw Parvez Hussain Imran, but Varun Chakravarti had to bowl the fourth over. Parvez Hussain Imran, I think, scored 2 sweep shots against him in the first 2 balls. So if you're playing in a Delhi, for example, I keep mentioning that ground because since it's been relayed, it's not got as much purchase for the spinners. You're playing against South Africa. If you look to bring spinners in the power play, they may go for runs and you may struggle with Bumrah bowling 3 in the power play. So it's very risky, this left-hand, right-hand combination philosophy, and then you've got not playing the extra seamer and Arshdeep Singh. And I mentioned this in the previous video, I'll say this again. If you're looking for someone to be able to bat anywhere through from number 3 to number 6, that's Riyan Parag, but he's not in the squad. So you've got to pick the players according to the way you want to structure things, and I don't think that they have been doing that. So I didn't expect things for a team that has this much talent. I think unnecessarily jumbling things up where you don't know who's going to bat where. I don't understand that with a lineup so talented. And with the Bull, they win this tournament, and in these conditions, still with the teams they are playing against, I think they'll be fine. And it depends on the surfaces they're playing in the T20 World Cup as well. But I say this again, in Delhi, if you're going with this combination against a side that bats better, you may struggle. So that is on that. So for Bangladesh, I thought the reason why they couldn't give a better account of themselves at the bat is because you've got good players, but players who need, I think, at least 2 or 3 more years to get to that level. They found a good opening batsman in Saif Hassan, who scored another 60 odd today. I thought Parvez Hussain Imran played decently. Apart from that, no one did much, which is why I'm not surprised that India won this match. But it's got 168. I still thought it'd be too many for Bangladesh to chase. But it was good that you've got a new player introduced for them, and he's scored 260 odds against Sri Lanka and India. It would bode well for them. But they're producing talent. It would take 2 or 3 years for them to get to that level, but they are producing talents. And apart from the 3 overs, the last 3 overs in the power play, I didn't think Bangladesh gave a bad account of themselves today. In India's case, I feel they've got the talent that they don't need to experiment with the batting lineup and not play the extra seamer, because Sanju Samson batted at 8, number 8 would not get batting. So what's the point of playing the extra batsman? I don't understand. Where if you play Arshdeep Singh, you defend totals easier and you won't be chasing many. Will they do that? I don't know. So definitely I think the team combination needs introspection. Let's see what happens. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, share, friends, and this is my opinion. What's